A very good evening, guys. In the previous session of final accounts, we completed the sums only on balance sheet. And I had mentioned in the previous class that I will make you all do basic sums where we have to prepare profit and loss account. So, in this session, what I am going to do is we will study how to prepare the profit and loss, that is income statement, as per the prescribed format of Companies Act. Income statement, that is profit and loss statement of a company as prescribed by Companies Act. Remember, the format what you all are going to study here is different from what you all are studying in management accounting. Management accounting में the vertical format is for analysis purpose. There is no legal format. But here there is a legal format. You have to follow that order. What I do? This session I am purely devoting for P&L. In the next class, if I feel I may take one or two sums only on P&L if I feel. Otherwise, I will straight away start with full-fledged sums where there is P&L and balance sheet. I am not committing anything because this sum what I am going to do in this session, first I will discuss the full format with you, and then we will do a sum which I have made an extra sum covering basic things, so you will get a proper hang of the P&L statement. And then in the next class I may either take one or two sums on P&L, or I will straight away start with full-fledged final accounts, balance sheet plus income statement. Okay guys, now listen. You all have the format in front of you. Anyway, even if you don't have, I have made the full format here. What you will do? In the question I have put income statement, that is P&L statement of Eureka Limited. So you will give the heading profit and loss statement of Eureka Limited for the year ending 31st March 24. Profit and loss statement of Eureka Limited for the year ending 31st March 24. Now listen. What was there in the balance sheet? It was divided in two main parts, equity and liabilities and assets. यहाँ पे your income statement, which is also called as profit and loss statement, will be divided in two parts, revenue and expenses. Revenue means income, sources of income from where the money is coming in, and the money what you have spent, that is expenses. Okay, now step by step we will see the items. Let's take revenue first. Now revenue is further classified in two categories. First, revenue from operations. Focus on the word operations. And second, other income. Revenue from operations and second, other income. Again guys, I'll repeat the same thing what I mentioned for balance sheet. Here also there are many details, but I am restricting my explanation to the extent of the prescribed syllabus of BAF, BCom and TMS. Okay, chalo now. Revenue ka first item. Revenue from operations. When I say operations, that means day-to-day business activity. Your regular operational, the day-to-day activities which you do in the normal course of business comes under the head revenue from operations. So revenue from operation means revenue generated, income generated from day-to-day operations. That includes what? If you are a company, it will include sale of goods. Company means if you are a company dealing in goods, if you are a company dealing in goods, it will include sale of goods. And in case you are providing services, that means you are not selling goods, but you provide services. Like example, Vodafone providing telephone services, Adani Group providing electricity services. Of course, electricity may there is a little bit of different format, but I'm just giving you example. Services means you provide services, there is no sale of goods. Advertisement companies, then other limited companies where like say how lawyer, basically not lawyer, but they are giving their services. So if your main business is to give services, then whatever income you generate from providing those services, that will come under the head revenue from operation. In short, sale of goods and the money collected from provision for services, providing services and taking money from your clients, that will be a part of revenue from operations. Getting it? So revenue from operation includes sale of goods and sale or provision of services. Because when I say operation, matlab income generated from your regular main business activity. That will be either sale of goods if you are a manufacturer or a trader, and it will be provision of services if you are a service provider. Okay, then second, other income. Now when I say other income, the heading itself says any income which doesn't come under the head revenue from operations will come under the head other income. Any income which doesn't come under the head revenue from operations will come under the head other income. That is interest received, dividend received, discount received, commission received, you have invested in debentures, again uska interest received, all that will come under the head other income. Getting it? So revenue from operations, sale of goods and money received on provision of services. Other income may interest, dividend, discount, commission, all that comes under other income. Whatever total you get, revenue from operations and other income, that will be my total income. Now balance sheet may be made two columns. Here there is only one column and note number का concept is the same. Entire final accounts के chapter में note number का concept is the same. Clear guys? So total income A will be revenue from operations and other income. Next, coming to the second head of income statement, that is P&L statement, expenses. Now what is expense? You are studying since FYGC. The cost which you incur to do your business activity, that comes under the head expenses. The cost which you incur for conducting your business activities, that comes under the head expenses. Now expenses further classified into these categories. First, cost of material consumed. Now see, when I say cost of material consumed, you all have done previous sem BAF students, BCom students in costing in 5th sem, in this sem only, sorry. Cost of material consumed will come only in that case where the person is a manufacturer. You all have done this in FI BAF also, manufacturing accounts, final accounts of manufacturing concern. When you are a manufacturer, who is a manufacturer? A person who produces his own goods. He will buy material, process and produce his own goods. So this head, cost of material consumed, because this is the first time I am writing it here, but there are hardly one or two sums. In fact, I don't think so there are any sums where in your syllabus they give you cost of material consumed ka breakup. In case there is any, mostly they will give you straight away the amount of cost of material consumed. So 99% this will remain blank, or if it is, they will give you the amount. Getting it? So this will come only when the company whose profit and loss statement we are preparing is a manufacturing concern. In case they ask you what it includes, material consumed or no, opening stock of raw material plus purchase of raw material plus any expense incurred on purchases like carriage inward or custom duty or octroi duty. Nowadays, majority cases may octroi duty has been scrapped, but any other expenses incurred on purchases of material, deduct closing stock of material, that will be cost of material consumed. To be honest, itna for final accounts for your syllabus nahi aayega. 1% chance it will come, but mostly nahi aayega. So they will mostly give you that figure. Okay, so I'll repeat, cost of material consumed will come only when the company jiska profit and loss statement we are making is a manufacturing company. Second, purchase of stock in trade. Now this will come in 90% of the sums. Now what is the difference between the two? When I say purchase of stock in trade, that means the company whose P&L we are preparing, that company is a trading concern. The company whose P&L we are preparing, that company is a trading concern. What they do? They buy goods and the same goods they sell. They buy goods and the same goods they sell. That is called as purchase of stock in trade. They will buy goods and the same goods they will sell. So when you buy finished goods directly from outside, that will be a part of purchase of stock in trade. Now yaad rakhna, if there is purchase return, you will deduct from here, and in case there is sales return, then you will deduct from sales. That is basic of FI. Another thing, when you buy goods, in case you pay any expenses at the time of purchase of goods, in case you pay any expenses at the time of purchase of goods, then that will be added to purchase of stock in trade. You pay carriage, transportation charges on purchase of goods, transport jo coming from the place of supplier to your place, freight, carriage inward, whatever word you call, all that will be added to the cost of it. In case you buy goods from foreign country, then the import or the custom duty what you pay, that will be added to the cost of purchases. So purchase of stock in trade will be nothing but cost of goods purchase. That means basic cost of purchase plus any expenses incurred at the time of purchase. That total will be my purchase of stock in trade. When I do the sum, you'll get it much better. Right now, just understand the explanation. Third, change in inventories. Very simple. Inventory is another name for stock. You all have studied. We have done balance sheet. Correct? Inventory is another name for stock. You all have studied balance sheet. वहाँ पे under the head current assets there was inventory. That is nothing but stock. Now see the word change in inventory. There will be only one thing. Change in inventory will be difference between the opening and the closing stock. Opening, see, this is a statement. You all know, you all have done in management accounting. There is no debit credit. Statement mein there is no debit credit. It is just vertical format. So when we prepare trading account, opening stock जाता है debit में, closing stock जाता है credit में. Here there is no debit credit. So change in inventory will include only one thing, difference between your opening stock and closing stock. Got it? अगर opening stock ज़्यादा है, answer will be positive. And if the closing stock is more, then answer will be negative. Suppose my opening stock is 1 lakh, closing stock is 50. So 1 lakh minus 50, 50,000. My opening stock is 1 lakh, closing stock is 2 lakh. Opening minus closing. So 1 lakh minus 2 lakh, negative 2 lakhs. You will see in the sum. So in short, change in inventory will include difference between your opening stock and closing stock. Next, employee benefit expenses. Now the word employee benefit expenses. Expenses incurred for the benefit of employee. Who is an employee? The person who is working employed with your company. He gives his services to the company. The employee, the staff gives his services to the company, and against that the company will compensate him with remuneration or salary. So whatever expenses you incur for the benefit of staff, that comes under the heading employee benefit expenses. This will also include the remuneration, that is salary, wages and salary and wages, staff welfare, other way around, contribution, employer's contribution to provident fund, employer's contribution to state insurance corporation, insurance, all that will come. So employee benefit expenses will include expenses connected with staff. Their salaries, wages to the workmen. यहाँ पे there is no trading P&L. Whether you pay wages to the office staff or you pay wages to the factory workers, everything goes under employee benefit expenses. Okay, so employee benefit expenses will include expenses connected with staff, salary, wages, employer's contribution to provident fund, employer's contribution to state insurance, staff welfare, etc. Clear? Next, finance cost. As the word says, finance. Finance cost will include those costs which are connected with raising finance. Like say for example, you take a loan, you pay interest, finance cost. Bank overdraft, you pay interest, finance cost. You have issued debentures, you are a company, you issue debentures, finance cost. बैंक में से your business bank account में से बैंक ने charges deduct किया, bank charges, bill discounting charges, all are a part of finance cost. Remember, your undergrad level का your undergrad syllabus का level is low and medium, so you don't have to go into much complicated things which are there in practical life or professional exams. Got it? So finance cost, interest on loan, interest on debentures, interest bill discounting charges, bank charges, all that will come here. Next, depreciation and amortization expenses. You know depreciation, fixed assets के ऊपर, depre on building, plant and machinery, computer, laptop, furniture, all types of depreciation will come here. Amortization expense. Amortization means same like depreciation. That means the expenses what you have written off. Say for example, goodwill, intangible assets, goodwill written off, all that will come here. So any expenses written off for fixed assets, tangible, intangible, all that will be a part of depreciation and amortization expenses. Achha, one more thing, when you issue shares at a discount, it's an expense. So any expenses incurred at the time of issue, share issue expenses, all that will also be a part of finance cost, because you issue shares and incur expenses to raise the finance, so it will be a part of finance cost. Got it, guys? And the last one, other expenses. Now see, very simple. Other expenses number 7, correct? Any expenses, any business expense or any expenditure incurred by the company which doesn't fall in the first 6 heads. Any expenditure incurred by the company which doesn't fall in the first 6 heads will come under the head other expenses. Any expenditure incurred by the company which doesn't fall in the first 6 heads will be coming under the 7th head, that is other expenses, like printing, stationery, audit fees, administrative expense, selling expense, carriage outward, bad debts, uh, uh, electricity, auditor's fees, legal charges, professional fees, etc., etc. So in short, whatever doesn't come in the first 6 items will come here. As I told you, the sum what I am going to solve now, pure basic sum. Please understand this explanation of the format and the sum, because that will be the base for full-fledged final accounts. We have already done balance sheet. Now we will study income statement. Got it, guys? Now see, revenue में there were 2 items, revenue from operations, other income. So दोनों का total will become total income A. Whatever are the amount of expenses, add up all the 7, that will be total expenses B. So now profit before tax, profit before income tax will be total income minus total expense. That means profit before tax will be A minus B. Profit before tax will be A minus B. So total income A, total expense B. So profit before tax will be A minus B. From this, you will deduct provision for tax. They'll give you the percentage or they may give you the amount. Suppose they say tax provision 30%. So whatever is the profit before tax, uska 30% will be provision for tax. If they tell you 40%, 50%, whatever is the PBT, profit before tax, uska 40-50%, that will be my profit after tax. Clear with this, guys? So this is your format of income statement. Okay, please, you can pause the video or please rewind it so that you can understand again. Clear with this, guys? Now, this sum format, I've given the heading for the sum, what I am going to do. You'll have the format in front of you, and even if you don't have, you can just pause the video and copy this format. Okay, chalo, let's read the sum. And again, यहाँ पे there will be notes to accounts. Again, we have to read the sum, decide what are the items which will go under which note, and accordingly decide how many lines are notes to be. Okay, chalo, let's see. Keep that extra question in front of you. From the following information given by Eureka Limited, prepare their profit and loss statement for the year ending 31st March 24. So Eureka Limited. So profit and loss statement of Eureka Limited for the year ending 31st March 24. Now see, let's take one by one. Gross sales, sales return. Now because there is sales return, put a mark on gross sales. Put a mark on gross sales. Even if you don't put ये सब में चलेगा, but put it because आगे जाके if there is other item also, then you can add it. यहाँ पे चलेगा, it's fine because you have only sales. कभी कभी sale of goods and sale of services दोनों रहेगा, then the mark is important. Okay? Now, sales less sale return. Where it will go? It will go in revenue from operations. So gross sales and sale return के सामने लिख दो revenue from operation. RFO लिख दो, revenue from operation. RFO or RO, whatever you are comfortable. Purchase return. Purchase return है, put a mark on purchases. Purchase return है, put a mark on purchases. Okay? See, expense में second है. You have purchase of stock on trade. So write it P. Purchase of stock in trade. Carriage inward. What I told you? Carriage inward is carriage paid on purchase of goods. Carriage inward is carriage paid on purchase of goods. Any expenses incurred at the time of purchase of goods will be added to the cost of purchase. So carriage inward will go to purchase of stock in trade. Carriage inward will go to purchase of stock in trade. Next, closing stock of finished goods, opening stock of finished goods. Closing and opening stock of finished goods both will be a part of change in inventory. Closing and opening stock of finished goods both will be a part of change in inventories. Okay. Interest received, dividend received. Starting may explain you, both will be a part of income, but it will go in other income. It is not your revenue from operations. So interest received, dividend received, other income, you can write there OI. Okay. Then salary, wages. What I told you, wages, salary will be a part of employee benefit expense. You can write a E, employee benefit expense. So salary, wages, dono employee benefit expenses. Interest on debentures. Company can issue debentures. On that they will pay interest. So finance cost, FC. Interest on ICICI loan. We have taken a loan from ICICI. उसके ऊपर interest pay किया. Again finance cost. So interest on debentures and interest on ICICI loan, finance cost. Debris on building, debris on plant and machinery, both will be a part of depreciation and amortization expense. Both will be a part of depreciation and amortization expenses. So write there DD. Anyway, it's understood. Now see, rent and taxes. Can you allocate in the first 6 heads? No. So other expenses, write there OE. Repair and maintenance. Can you see any head in the first 6 parts? No. Write there OE. Auditor's fees. Can you see in the any 6 heads? No. Write there OE. And insurance premium, again the same thing. It won't fit any of the 6 heads, so other expense. So the last 4, all the expenses will come under the head other expenses. Clear, guys? So every item के सामने write the short form of the head, so it will help you in deciding how many lines to do. And then see, I have made one adjustment. I have written one adjustment. Provide for income tax 40%. So that will be calculated on the amount of profit before tax. Whatever is your profit before tax, uska percentage will be your income tax. That means when we fill up everything, profit before tax ka 40% will be your provision for tax. Okay, guys, now listen. 2 and 7, there are 9 items. This is not a manufacturing concern. So cost of raw material consumed means nothing will be there. So there is no material. So cost of material consumed में कुछ भी नहीं आएगा. Remaining all the heads, just to make it simpler for you all, I have put more than one items. So there will be notes. Okay. So in order. Notes to account, same format of balance sheet, particular single column of amount. Note 1, revenue from operations. देखो starting में sales return दो ही है, so leave 3 lines. Other income, there are 2 items, 3 lines. Purchase of stock in trade, purchase return carriage, हाँ इसका 4 करो because there is carriage inward also. So purchase less purchase return carriage inward एक line total का, so 4. Change in inventories, we have to just do opening minus closing, 3 lines. Employee benefit expenses, there is salary and wages, only 2, 1 for total, so 3. एक line ज़्यादा थोड़ा चलेगा. Finance cost, interest on ICICI loan, interest on debentures, 2 items, 3. Depreciation and amortization expenses, debris on building, debris on plant and machinery, it will come here, so 3 items. And the last other expenses, remaining 4, I have written 6. Even if you don't leave, it's fine because this is the last note. Clear with this, guys? So same way you have to read and according to the number of items, make the notes. Got it? Now guys, if you all have understood here till here, rest all is filling the blanks. Now what you do? I discussed now. Pause the video. Be ready with the notes to accounts and then continue with it. Okay? Video pause कर दो. According to the line what I mentioned, brackets में दिया हुआ है. Make notes to accounts and then restart the video and go with me. Okay? चलो. Let's start. First, gross sales 11 lakhs and there is sales return. As I told you, even if you don't put a mark, chalega. So, gross sales 11 lakh. From this, deduct sales return. कितना है sales return? 1 lakh. So 11 minus 1, 10 lakh. 11 minus 1, that is 10 lakh. Got it? Had you even put it in the inner column, return minus करके बाहर देखो तो भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता था. Purchase return. Now listen. Purchase will go in purchase of stock in trade. Now purchase minus purchase return. If carriage inward was not there, understand this. If carriage inward was not there, I would have done the same thing what I did for sale and sale return. But there is carriage inward. Carriage inward. FIGC you all are doing it. Carriage inward is transport charges paid on purchase of goods. So what I'll do, I'll add it here. So because of that, purchases you will put it in the inner column. कितना है purchases? 5 lakh. From that, less purchase return 50,000. So you get outside 450. 5 lakh minus 50,000, you get outside 450. And to that, you will add carriage inward. Carriage inward is 30,000. Getting it? Actually, I'll repeat. अगर carriage inward नहीं होता, if carriage inward was not there, you would have taken 5 lakh minus 50, that is 450. But carriage inward is there, so you will take this. Next, closing stock of finished goods, opening stock. Now see, change in inventory. Now it is under the head expenses. So tell me, opening stock, when you prepare trading account, debit में क्या आता है? Opening stock या closing stock? Opening stock ना? So what you will do? This will be opening stock or opening stock of finished goods. From this, less क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ फिनिश गुड्स। कितना है मेरा ओपनिंग स्टॉक? माय ओपनिंग स्टॉक इज 120 and closing stock is 2 lakh. So 120 minus 2 lakh negative 80. Getting yaad hai what I told you in explanation? If closing stock is more, it will be negative, and if opening stock is more, it will be positive. Debit credit में कभी minus figure नहीं आता. When you prepare an account, there is never a minus figure, but statement में आता है. Clear? Next, interest received, discount received. We discussed. You all have written other income. So come here. Interest received, discount received. देखो कितना है इंटरेस्ट रिसीव्ड? 50,000. Discount received 30,000. Salary, wages. What I told you, when you prepare trading P&L, wages we put in trading, salary goes in P&L. यहाँ पे there is no concept. Salary, wages, both there is a separate head of employee benefit and expenses, so it will go there. So salary and wages both come there. 1,20,000 and the other is 80,000. 1,20,000, 80. Next, interest. Interest on debenture, interest on ICICI loan. We discussed both are finance cost. So interest on debentures, interest on ICICI loan. 40,000 and 25,000. Next, debris on building. So what the debris will come in depreciation? कितना है debris on building? 40,000 and depreciation on plant and machinery 60,000. Now ध्यान रखना, debris on P&L in manufacturing account used to go in manufacturing and building P&L. यहाँ पे there is no manufacturing, no P&L. All depreciation will come under the head depreciation and amortization. Okay, then see, as we discussed the last 4 items, it don't fall under any of the previous 6 head. So the last 4 all will come in other expenses. So rent and taxes 80,000. Repairs and maintenance 20,000. Auditors fees 25 and insurance premium 15,000. So 80, 20, 1 lakh 20. Let's take the total. All of us give it the portion now, guys. Chalo, let's take the total. 1 lakh 140, 60 plus 40, 1 lakh 40 and 25, 65, 120 plus 80, 2 lakhs 50 plus 30, 80, 450 plus 30, 480, and this so we have already done. I already discussed it. Clear with this, guys? Now, same thing what we did in balance sheet ka sum. Now, pick up each note ka total and put it under the relevant items. Okay? Chalo. रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशंस कितना है 10 lakhs. कम हियर नोट नंबर में 1 10 lakhs, सॉरी 1 10 lakhs. Note 2 80,000. Okay, so revenue from operation note 1 10 lakh, ये 80,000. So the total is 10 lakh 80,000. So the total is 10 lakh 80,000. Purchase of stock in trade note 3 480. So 4 lakh 80,000. Change in inventories note 4 negative 80. Employee benefit expenses note 5 2 lakhs. Finance cost note 6 65. Debris note 7 that is 1 lakh, and other expenses note 8 1 lakh 40,000. Take the total 4 lakh plus 265 plus 240 gives you 9 lakh 5,000. Okay, so my total expenses are 9 lakh 5,000. Total income A 1080, total expense B 905. So my profit and profit before tax will be A minus B, that will give you 1,75,000. So my profit before tax is 1,75,000. Now guys, there can be income tax, there cannot be income tax. If the company, you all have done direct tax, if the company has a carry forward loss, there is no need to pay tax. Or if the company is having some incentives, like they are in special economic zone, government gives them some concession, so few years they don't have to pay tax. So if income tax is not there, nothing to be done. But if income tax is there, you will provide. यहाँ पे क्या बोला 40%. So what will happen? My profit before tax, I'll do it here only brackets में, provision for tax will be 1,75,000 का 40%. So 175 into 4, that is 0.4, gives you 70,000. So my profit after tax becomes 1,05,000. My profit after tax becomes 1,05,000. Clear? So profit before tax 175, उसका 40% tax 70,000. 175 minus 70 gives you my profit after tax 1,05,000. Clear with this guys? यहाँ पे बैलेंस शीट में रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में वी टू ऐड many sums we did. Profit and loss opening, add profit for the year. This is the way profit for the year comes. This is the way profit for the year comes. Getting it? I'll repeat again. बैलेंस शीट के सम्स में नोट 2 रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस P&L होता था. Either they give you the direct figure or they used to give you the breakup ना. Profit and loss opening balance, add profit for the year. This is that profit which go. अगर सपोज ये सम होता बैलेंस शीट के साथ, P&L opening में you would have added 1,05,000 at profit for the year. So in short, this goes in your balance sheet reserves and surpluses, and it will be added to your opening balance of P&L. Got it guys? So this was a pure basic sum to make you understand the concept of income statement. Pure basic sum to make you understand the concept of income statement. As I told you, if I feel I just see the sums, or if I see I can make one or two, वैसे जरूरत नहीं है, but I'll tell you in the next class. In case I feel I'll do one or two sums more. Otherwise, I will straight away start with full-fledged final accounts, where we will do combination of balance sheet and P&L. The reason I made so many notes now, so I cover each and every heading of the profit and loss statement. So वैसे जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा But if I feel, I'll do. Otherwise, I will straight away start with full-fledged sum. Got it, guys? So that's it. I wind up here. What we have studied is discussion of the profit and loss statement as per the Companies Act, and we have solved a basic sum where I have put few items in each and every head, so to give you a proper hang of the concept along with solving of this particular sum. That's it, guys. See you all in the next class. As I told you, either I take one more sum or two more sums, or I straight away start with full-fledged sums. I'll take a call, and accordingly we will see in the next class. That's it. Take care, guys. And before we meet, please revise the sum along with the balance sheet, because till the time you don't know balance sheet and P&L, you cannot do full-fledged sum of final accounts. That's it. Take care, guys.